Put your red shirt on and a brown coat too. Everybody's joining the crew. We got just one ring, let we rule them all. Hope people remember your house. Get your Uru feathers and your Middle guns. A sonic screwdriver or a sword +1. Use Valerian steel if it will get you to come. To the pit, tank. To the pit, tank. The Rocky Mountain pit, tank.
Hi, I'm Guy.
Hi, I'm Troy.
Hi, I'm Alex.
And this is Geek Tank.
Your whoopee cushion-sized podcast. Just because.
So, we're not actually broadcasting right now. April Fools. Okay, maybe not. It's April Fools. Mm-hmm. Well, or something close to April Fools. Or
yeah,
once
you're
was April Fools. So,
you're like 3 days late.
Yeah. So we figured we just talk about that.
The problem is not knowing, you know, because things don't just go away after April Fools with the internet. Yeah. So you see a thing a month later and you're like, what? They're remaking A Clockwork Orange? Oh, this was released in April on the 1st. Okay.
I noticed that one too. I was like, Like it was definitely, there were a few things popping up on my stream. It's one thing to do April Fools if it's obvious, you know, like, you know, this is not live April Fools. I mean, it's got the live thing. It's live. So, you know, that's pretty obvious. But it's another when you say things like, this series of Star Trek's been canceled, or the episode or the series of Star Trek that you have always hoped for is going to be made, or, you know, something like that.
And I still don't know if it was a joke or not. So it could, as far as I know, they could be remaking A Clockwork Orange. I don't see how they could do it without. I don't see how they could live up to the effect of it the first time around without like making it X-rated, because the point of it is to be quite shocking.
Right.
And now it's really not that shocking if you go back and watch it.
Fair.
Did you ever read the book?
Yes.
No.
It's one of those that, like a few books that have been out there, I think like Dune and such, had its own little glossary in the back of the slang that they used, which was pretty cool. And I want to say that the main character, Alex, was like 14 in the book, which made it that much more disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah. Well, I mean, we did end up with an actual announcement from something that, you know, in the statement that you were talking about, the group Baby Metal, which is a group that I actually follow, added a third member to the group on April 1st. So nobody actually believed that they'd add that member.
They were only 2 to begin with?
There were 3, then 1 had to step down. And then for a long time, it's been just 2 for a very, very long time. But now they brought on a third member who actually went to school with the other 2 girls. So that they're all ex-schoolmates. And there was a school out there called Sakura Gakuin, which was a school that was effectively like a Juilliard. And that's what they did, was they created idol singers. And so the girls and boys that went to this school became idol singers usually. And so Baby Metal was born out of that school, along with a whole bunch of other little groups that have shown up all over the place. But yeah, so they were talking about this new member, and it was too good to be true, because the particular member had done a number of videos back in her school days of, I always want to play, you know, heavy metal. And so it was kind of like, so you just picked her because, you know, that makes a perfect April Fool's joke. You know, we were going to add a third member to Baby Metal who just happens to be the one that in all the videos said, I want to play heavy metal. And so, and then it turned out, no, she really did join the group. but nobody believed her for a whole day. You know, even though Baby Metal was putting out promotional material with all three girls together, everybody was like, that had to have been photoshopped. And so it was like really funny. It was like very weird how what they actually ended up doing was having all three girls do a live thing so that they could all talk together so that you could have them, you know, it was just very funny. So anyway, I in the spirit of sometimes you have things doing, you don't know whether it redoes or doesn't redo or whatever, you know. That was one which kind of backfired, and they ended up having to
Yeah, they should have either did it a day earlier or a day later.
pick a different day to release that information. In news that is not April Fool's, NASA has announced the 4 members that will be on the next Artemis mission, which will be the first humans to leave Earth close space since 1972. So that's going to be cool. They will be the first. They're not going to land on the moon, but they're going to orbit the moon to prove that Artemis can do the job and the Orion spacecraft can do the job. So they're going to go out to the moon and orbit it, effectively mimicking Apollo 10's mission. So that's cool. And it's 3 Americans and 1 Canadian, which I find also somewhat interesting.
3 Americans and 1 Canadian go off into space.
Right. And 3 men and 1 woman. 1 woman. Like there's just one of them, but there's multiple apparently. Because
and a
women.
baby.
Yeah. Right. So 3 men and 1 woman. And that's interesting too. So it's just an interesting side note. So
I don't keep up with the space stuff.
No, that's what I'm here for.
So other random stuff. There was a fan-made conclusion to the D&D anime, or not anime, but the animation, the cartoon. I don't know if you ever saw that or not, but apparently a fan managed to get one of the actual actors to do the voice for it, and the other voices they drew parts out of a radio play that I did with the original voices or something. And I guess the script it was like an official script that was written but never made.
Huh.
And somehow
Okay.
they got a hold of it. And I'd never seen a ton of them, but because when it came out, I watched some, but I actually never played D&D back at that time and age period. I played vampire hunting role-playing games and space games and that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then I remembered how the toys were only out for a month and then they vanished.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted them. They weren't posable. They were just like little statues. But
Yeah, I remember the show. I don't remember particularly caring about it.
yeah, it wasn't.
I remember watching it even during the time when I actually was playing D&D and going, I don't know, man.
these writers never played the game.
Yeah, I remember having that feeling of, I don't think these guys played it. You know, kind of like the same feeling I generally have about the first and second season of Big Bang Theory. You know, like watching it, I'm like, you guys really aren't nerds. You know, I'm just like,
Nope.
like, you're just throwing words around.
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek and stuff, yes, and Magic the Gathering. Okay.
How nerdy.
Huh? And then everybody goes, ha 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 ha. Okay. I mean, I guess hearing from people, it gets better as time goes on, but I feel very much that the seasons that I watched, I was like, this is so much cringy here. You know, so anyway, yeah.
There we go. Now I'm actually here. I can comment on our show.
Ooh.
What? That's so weird. So, yeah. Fascinating stuff. Any news that you have, particularly, Alex?
Nope.
Nothing game related.
I was saying earlier that it's just how to say. I'm even farther out of the loop than normal, really, right now.
Yeah.
So working 410s and stuff. I guess the geekiest thing I've done recently is besides playing some games in D&D and Magic and stuff is had our VGR meeting. So I got bunches of stuff to take to Jeremy for consideration and such, and we'll see what pans out.
Sweet. I have the air crew meeting this weekend, where I'll be meeting with the social media and all of those teams. So that's a thing. So
I got nothing.
Except that your position's now permanent. Your move, which I didn't know.
The move is permanent? What?
I know.
What happened?
Well, I don't know. I had emailed our fearless leader and said, "Hey, can I get the new dimensions? Because I want to start planning for this year. I know it's only going to be for 1 year, but I'd still like to get a jump on it." And the response was like, "Oh no, it's not for 1 year. It's forever."
So what's going on in? So is operations going to always be in your old space?
Yeah,
now?
I know. It's like that seems like a weird. I don't know. I feel like that's something I'm not sure. I missed that in the board meeting or something, but I don't think I'd go for that. You're one of our popular rooms, so like.
Well, like I was saying, I don't think I got to say any of it. It's not like I invest money into it or am paid money for doing it. So I'm easily replaceable.
Your wife and kids get paid if they room at a resort hotel for several days.
There is something to be said about that, though.
Yeah, I wish they would actually care, and then it would make it more valuable. Because there's talk of people not wanting to go this year. I'm like, that's fine. There's less people in my room. It'll smell less like teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean your? I'm like,
yeah, my kids.
You have staff members jumping off a planet.
The only one who's ever been have any kind of enthusiasm has been Taryn, because he loves to dress up in the Pikachu costume.
Fair.
Which there's no way he can fit it in anymore.
Right. Also fair.
But yeah, it's whatever they want to make it, and I'm sure they've got reasons why they make the decisions they do. Whether it's a lot of thought was put into it and it was decided this is best for everything, or someone with more pull than me said, I want this to be this way because X, Y, and Z.
Or, I mean, maybe it was just this would be great. Yeah, let's just keep it this way because this is good, and it wasn't brought up to committee.
I don't like the move.
I would have said, yeah, except that you're putting the dojo out of the eye of people.
Yeah, I think part of its success has been people just seeing it. They have to walk from point A to point B, and you stick us right between it. They're going to see us, and they're going to stop in and know that we exist. Where if we're hidden away, I think only the people who have been coming there will come there, and getting new members to join in will be tricky.
I am of that opinion as well.
But I don't know if it's unless if they go full force into Magic, it's not like the dojo is going to make them money. But if it could if they wanted to do that, because that group exists and they're very large, and I think there's plenty of people who don't come to NDK who would start coming to NDK if I was running 3 or 4 on standard different types of tournaments over the weekend and that.
Well, and we've done a couple of things at the last meeting that was sort of like, well, but this is popular. And I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't fit the charter. Well, but it's popular. So,
well, I mean, it does with Kamigawa, unless if you're saying that the charter.
That's what I'm saying. Is I'm feeling like that's maybe that's not a bad thing to do. Is just going ahead and do Magic tournaments. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm the only one being a stickler.
They've already got some of their Secret Lair stuff is done by a popular anime artist.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Yeah, that was popular. So
the Metal Gear Solid guy, I think it was.
yeah,
I
there's a
can't
lot of
remember.
stuff.
Oh,
There's
and
Junji Ito ones out there,
Junji Ito did a set
Yeah.
too.
which I'm sure are suitably horrific, as
Eh,
only Junji Ito can
Just
be.
the price tag.
That one's also suitably horrific. Yeah.
Now, I've been watching some of the Junji Ito Netflix stuff, and I'm not impressed with the way they changed it. I don't know. It doesn't have the same impact for some reason. But
Okay.
I'm not like I'm a Junji Ito appreciator, not a fan, but
Right. Right. That's fair.
so maybe the hardcore fans really love it or something. Well, someone besides me is watching us, but they haven't said anything.
Right.
Russian bot.
No, Bulgarian bot is
Yes,
very
yeah.
different from Rusko bot.
Right.
Hey, Donald.
It's a Donald. Oh, now we have 4 people watching us. Hey, so we wrote into this show not knowing what we were going to do, and we were going to, since Brent is almost always here, we were going to ask Brent what he'd like us to talk about.
So,
as a
Donald,
topic.
what do you want us to talk about?
Yeah, so Donald, you spoke up
Donald,
first.
you're a regular. You can have anything you want us to chat about? Have any topics you want to bring up? So, normally we would have something to talk about, but it seems like we're oddly in a. Even though it seems like the D&D movie. Have we seen anybody seen the D&D movie yet?
No, heard it's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to. We're gonna make it a date night for Mariah and I, so that's gonna be cool.
Cool.
There you go, Russian Gajovich.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna try to organize the D&D. I was gonna try to organize the D&D.
You are exchange audience member from Russian podcast.
Living with host family.
Living with host.
The Venture Brothers.
But I was gonna say I was gonna try to arrange getting the D&D group to go to see it together, and realized that would be like near impossible to do, and it's better for everybody just to go see it themselves.
Right.
I want to go to Alamo, but my past 3 experiences there have not been great, which is really disappointing because it's been over the course of like 6 or 7 months. Went short like sometime after, like a few months after the pandemic had lifted, kind of thing, and everybody was sort of easing back into it. Tara and I went, and it's just the service was really slow, and then never came back, kind of thing, for like refills and that. And then Tara and the guys went without me once, and they had the same thing happen. They ordered popcorn and drinks, and it wasn't until like 3/4 of the way through the movie that it actually showed up, that they delivered the stuff. And then I went back with them again after that a few months later for something, and the same thing. It's just, at first I thought, oh, well, they're just getting their feet under them again. They're probably having to train new servers because the pandemic probably wiped out the people that were working there or something. I don't know. But, 3 times in a row over a course of time of getting bad service, it's kind of like, well, the whole point of going there is I really love their real buttered popcorn and stuff. And
right, their service.
Yeah. So
that's why you're there.
So if I'm not going to order anything to eat or drink, it takes out part of the point of being there, I think.
Yeah, Lauren and I mean, we've gone probably more more frequently the last like year or so than we had in the past, and we actually rarely order in theater. We like order at the bar and pay for it there, and usually have our food waiting for us when we get inside the theater or very soon thereafter, at least the ones we've been to.
Yeah, up until that's every experience I had there has been great.
Right.
They'd show up like within minutes of you putting the little piece of paper up saying, "Can I please have a refill?" kind of thing.
Right. Well, and I haven't had a problem up in Westminster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Donald mentioned John Wick 4, and I was actually thinking maybe I'll go there by myself because no one in my family is going to want to see that but me. And I'll go just by myself and see John Wick 4 and see if anything's changed. So that way, if I still get bad service, then I'll go somewhere else to see D&D because everybody in the family wants to go see that.
And maybe come up
Right.
here and we'll all go together as a team. Who knows?
I don't know.
You're like, maybe.
Again, you come back to this. We have to schedule a day that everyone can get together at the same
fine.
time at the
Yeah.
same
Fine,
place.
it's fine. I didn't mean to stress you out.
I'll just
Well,
be
it's
like,
not stress, it's just-
see, you just got to go, you know what? I'm going to go see the movie this day.
Mhm.
Y'all
Yep.
want to come? You're welcome to.
That's sort of what I was thinking.
If they can prove themselves, then I mean, and your Alamo's up by you, and my Alamo's down by me, so it's just as inconvenient either way.
I have no idea what you're. I mean, the idea was if you. It doesn't matter.
Okay, you were saying if my Alamo still sucks to come to your
Right.
Alamo.
You could come up
Okay.
here and go with us. That's
Yeah.
what I was saying.
Yeah, Lauren and I have been going to Westminster and Sloan's Lake and having decent experiences.
Yeah, I was just say Westminster doesn't seem to have any real problems. I actually kind of like Westminster, so.
Yeah, apparently there's a popcorn bucket that you can buy for $35 at AMC. That's like looks like a giant D20, which the price seems ridiculous. In that it's scalpers have been going in and buying like all of them and not seeing the movie and then trying to resell everything on the internet, which it's already an overpriced piece of plastic. Why would you-
Scalper's going to scalp.
Yep.
Yeah. That's true.
So all you Etsy people out there and people with giant 3D printers,
Just print a big D20 that's hollow.
yep.
Now, speaking of movies and speaking of Venture Brothers,
Yes.
I decided while we were talking about Alamo to do a little bit of research, and rumor has it Venture Brothers finale movie should be coming out the next, hopefully by the end of the year, but maybe beginning of next year. The capstone to the entire series. We'll have to raise a glass for Mr. Porter as the person who introduced us all to the Venture Brothers.
Agreed.
So, yes.
I don't know if I'm going to go into that. So,
You know Whiteman Scalp for Native Americans did. Yep. Know that.
yep.
So
I'd say that seems like that's history, but okay.
Yeah.
So, got a long, like, arduous discussion I could go into on that one, but it seems like that would be not geeky. Well, I mean, I guess it would be geeky if you're an anthropologist. So,
Beetlejuice 2 is coming.
you sure you didn't see that on April 1st?
I'm not sure what I feel.
I'd heard the
talking about
news. I'd heard the news before April
Okay.
because they're talking about getting Jenna Ortez
Mm-hmm.
to play the daughter of the daughter from the first movie.
Right.
I'm
That would be
forgetting
kinda-
names.
Yeah, it was played by
Winona
Ryder.
Ryder's
Winona
characters.
Yes.
I could see that. Jenna Ortez kind of looks like Winona Ryder in a way.
Uh-oh. Gonna get typecast.
Mhm.
I could kind of see that. Yeah. That makes some sense. So, Jenna Ortez is an interesting person. Apparently, she's got like a whole bunch of freckles, and she has over time had this ongoing fight with people as to whether they are covered up or not. Because she's usually cast as, in roles where she's Latino or whatever, and people just don't believe that they can have freckles. And so they'll cover them up. And it's this weird thing. And I'm like, I remember talking to some of my kids, and they're like, you have freckles? And I'm like, yeah, I've got freckles. A lot of people have freckles. And they're like, well, Asians don't have freckles. And I'm like, I think you'd be surprised.
Well, that reminds me of when Horizon Zero Dawn 2 came out on the PS5 and super high fidelity, and during like the scenes and stuff, people are like looking at Aloy. It's like, she's got fuzz on her cheeks. They made her into a man. Which, like, people are like, obviously, you've never actually been close to a human female before.
Right.
Way to out yourself, buddy.
Right. Man, I actually recently saw some video where it was talking about our hair and how it changes and things like that. And I was intrigued to find out that during the puberty thing, because this is after hours, so we could talk about this. During puberty, our hair like changes design. Like the hair goes from this really fine down on us to round hair that's very straight, and then it then changes to the like bean shaped. If you cross section it, like it's bean shaped, and that's the one that starts to get curly and different, and so you get those along all of the parts of your body where that hair goes. But I didn't know that there's actually like 2 different names for those hair, for that hair. I was like, I didn't know that. I like learned that. And then, but we all have hair. I mean, even me, which you cannot see, there's like this really fine hair right here. But it's just that whatever hormone combination for me never changed these hairs for reasons, genetic reasons. They did on my dad, so it makes no sense why it didn't on me.
But did they on your mom? How did the genes zipper together?
On my mom.
And then how did things change and get weird? Like,
things changed totally with your mom and all of our sponsors, because Geek Tank is sponsored by Kieran Games, Geekway Homes, and your mom.
Your mama.
There, that was a
when I was a teenager going through puberty, my hair actually turned blue black.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Cool.
And then it went back to brown black.
Yeah, I was about to say, I seem to remember you having like really dark hair for a while of some sort.
Yeah, my hair turned blue black when I was in my early teens and kept it up for a while.
Yeah. Because I met you when you were 15s, so it may have been after you had started going brown black. But it seems because this is one of those things where it's like in your memory, people get stuck in certain ways. But like, I hate to say this, Alex, but you have no hair right now. So I'm like, yes, his hair is definitely blue black. Because I can't look at you.
Awesome in everybody's files.
Right? I can't look at you and go, that's the color of his hair. So, I don't know. My hair used to be blonde until my like mid-20s, and then that was it. And then it went gray.
Then you found college.
Then I found religion right after college.
So what you think of the D&D session Saturday?
I was glad to have been able to participate at all.
Yeah, actually, I was impressed with how well that worked. So bringing up the people real quick so that we can get back to Alex in this one. Alex had to actually technically phone in. So he was on Discord, but the rest of us were in person for the most part. So...
Yeah. The mic, we had some audio issues and stuff, but that's all right. And then it's cool doing stuff. We'll see what happens. I guess we're skipping a week because of Passover.
Yep, we're
passing over D&D. Sadness.
I'll just bring my books. Then when no one's looking, we'll game.
I'm down. I'm ready for it. And I thought it was cool. With some more teasing out of my character's special ability was done, and so I gotta she was far too tired to try to put 2 and 2 together. But
when you told me your plan, I got so excited because it fit with what I wanted to have happen, but I don't like railroading. So I'm super happy that you got there yourself with your own decisions and then I was able to jump on that and go, bam, there you go. It's really cool, and I had to not tip my hand too much with that. So, but that's why if you felt like I was pressuring you a lot about, hey, you going to do that thing?
No, I didn't feel pressured at all.
Oh, good.
And it's collaborative storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's collaborated.
I mean, I feel like, I know you don't like to railroad, but I feel like we could railroad a little.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like sometimes you and I both have sort of the same problem because I don't like to railroad either. And I feel
I've been kind of like saying, this option seems like the better option out of all your options.
Yeah.
And so, and then I will explain logically in game, you have the resources to deal with this now. You don't have the resources to deal with these other things. So that would be a reason to do this one thing. That way the group has the options like, no, we're going to take our tiny airship and go attack the big giant airship right now. Like, okay, let me get the miniatures out.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm glad we were back in. I missed it. I enjoyed the downtime, but not as much as I enjoy gaming. So.
Right. The uptime.
Yeah.
Nice.
Agreed.
Up and downtime. Booyah.
Yeah, we had 3 no-shows, but I think that it made it more manageable with what we ended up having to do. And then we still have a player I need to get together with to get a character worked out.
Yeah, and then I think has Kithri's special item been worked out?
I don't think that player has done anything with it because I've had no feedback on it. And if depending on the COVID test, we may be missing Kithri for the next couple of games.
True.
Yeah.
Geekiest fast food item.
No, there was balls. That's more recent than Jolt.
Balls.
I feel like Mountain Dew's tried to claim that by releasing Gamer Fuel and all of those extras you can get by buying the cases of it. So they throw in like Halo game points, and Hot Pockets has struck a deal with Magic the Gathering now. And there's
I saw that, yeah.
Some kind of thing you can get for the online arena. If they were putting actual Magic cards in there, then I'd be buying them.
Right.
But I don't want the digital crap.
Of course, if you'd be like, I play my my elf of the deep
cheddar, cheddar hair,
elf of the deep cheddar, and it's covered in pizza slime, and you're like, well, I nuked it first. Yeah, magic pogo stick.
What happens if you nuke a foil card?
Find out.
Guess that it would be a bad thing.
I'm gonna guess it's probably not. Somebody's probably done it. It's probably on the internet out there.
Oh yeah, look it up.
Look it up. Okay, sure.
Magic pogo stick to be a rideable weapon for D&D. I sort of have that because my character has a broom.
Be a mount.
I keep having these funny observations that my character is slowly becoming the Wicked Witch of the East.
Here we go. Magic the Gathering foil card versus microwave.
Then that's from both posts, and that just reminded me of DuckTales, the video game.
Woo! Are you watching it?
I am. I'm not listening to it though.
It's
a Visions of Brutality card, which I'm guessing is one of the cheaper ones or something.
That would be my guess.
I'm going to microwave a foil Black Lotus, which doesn't exist. All right, I'm going to fast forward because this is taking too long. Let's see what happens.
You should just go.
All right.
Lightning things go around it.
2, 3. Oh, 3 seconds in and lightning started happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And now it's on fire.
And now it's on fire.
Took less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm sure it smells great.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is what you have
Ooh.
learned on Geek Tink tonight.
The after effect of what it looks like is really interesting. See if I can open it and share the screen.
Brent, yeah, here.
Hey, we have a Brent. How do we do? Present, share screen. That guy.
It's okay, Brent. Yep.
Oh, it is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just what we used to see when we used to throw AOL discs into the microwave.
Mm-hmm. That's what I figured. I mean, that's what it should look like, in theory.
Yeah.
Fun.
Cool.
Got lost in the game.
Louise.
So,
yeah, we Nova and I are still playing Persona 5 Royal. I started playing Deus Ex Machina Human Revolution. Yeah, game's good.
I did get an opportunity to play KSP2 after the update, and it is much more playable.
Good. The physics are not as janky.
Yeah, that was good too. Like my rockets no longer do the hula.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing.
My obsession since last week has been the Project Zomboid zombie survival game set in Louisville, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I was just telling Guy before you showed up, I was reading what you have to do to change a tire on a car. You have to know that car to do that. So you have to have the skill corresponding to the car to do maintenance on it.
That's dumb.
So not specific car, but the type of car. So yeah,
if you know sedans, you have you can't.
It's
you don't necessarily know Jeeps.
I mean, I want to say it's dumb,
It's dumb
because it should. You give me a jack, I can go change a tire. But I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I overestimate a lot of times the stupidity of the mass general public. So, general public. So it could be one of these things where it's simulating, because you're supposed to just be. You're not the hero of the game. It's because it starts off saying like, this is how you died. So it's presenting it in that you're going to die. The point of the game is to see how you die. What stupid thing do you do that gets you killed?
I find that somewhat intriguing, actually.
It's like, oh, my stupid thing was I broke out the window of this house and climbed through and forgot to clear out all the glass and cut my hand and got an infection and bled to death.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I'm really curious to see how it plays multiplayer.
Cool.
It's more mouths to feed.
Right?
It's about not Dumb Ways to Die. Project Zomboid, which could be tagline as Dumb Ways to Die.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, right back at you. Oh, since you didn't make it here in person, obviously you couldn't bring The Last of Us, but I still am interested in borrowing The Last of Us from you, Alex.
Oh yeah, totally cool.
And audio video stuff. I was telling Guy that Tara and I had started watching The Expanse, which I know is one of Guy's favorites.
It is. I really like it. I'm curious to see.
Yeah, when we get
a couple of things. One thing that I'm curious about is, will you find the things in it interesting, not having read the books?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's extremely faithful to the books. So, of course, I watched it and everything made total sense. And most of the people I've talked to have read the books. So I haven't yet talked to anybody who hadn't read the books but watched the series.
Mm-hmm.
And as to whether it makes sense also if you don't know all the backstory.
Yeah.
Because the thing about those particular writers, who are James S.A. Corey, there's two writers. The thing is that they write very well. The characters are very well developed. They're very accessible. They're very personable. So Bob watched the series, but never read the books. So Bob, what did you think?
Well, remember, I'm only 3 episodes in, so
Right. But did you
Spoilers.
find it incomprehensible? Was really kind of what I was thinking.
I'm assuming when I finish season 1, more stuff will make more sense. So I'm giving it some leeway.
Yeah. Yeah, season 1 is all about Leviathan Wakes, which is the first book.
Mhm.
And so it's a very good book.
So while Bob is typing stuff out, I decided to look at see when the second part of the Denis Villeneuve Dune was coming out, and apparently it's coming out in October.
That might be fun. I mean, that will be fun. I actually enjoyed the first one.
I like the first one too. I really hope they do what I think is a very a character-defining scene for Paul at the very beginning of the movie, because it should have happened at the end of the first one. So.
And didn't.
And did not.
Yeah.
Not.
I enjoyed the movie.
I did too, especially the ornithopters. There is a Wicked West Con this month. Wicked West Con will be the 15th and the 16th, and it'll be at the Ranch, which is the Ranch Complex, which is on I-25 in Loveland. And I will be tabling there. I will also be doing 2 panels now. One on being creative with ADD, and the other on imposter syndrome. So
Cool.
Todd asked me, the con chair asked me, to do a write up for it, and I'm like, do you imposter syndrome? Do people tell you that your work is really good, and you just naturally assume that they're only saying that because they're your friends? I'm like, things like that. Like, do you? And then I said, join G.S. Davis, an artist you've never heard of because his imposter syndrome has killed him.
Right.
It's like, you've never heard of me because of my imposter syndrome. So let's discuss it.
I'm glad that's still a thing, being funny in your little bio at conventions. Yeah. Like when I was I think I paneled at Mile High Con years and years ago, and I said I was the rarest of all prestige classes, the pirate ninja.
The Pinja.
And I see Freya actually commented on that. She saw how long ago it was. But yeah, still having
I will
fun
have
with
comics there, and I will have a life-size standee of Chang as well, so you can come get your picture taken with Chang. Provided that I can get the skill saw and Kevin here at the same time.
That shouldn't be too hard. Kevin's always there.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Yeah,
but we did seem to have this like whoa sort of thing that went around, but that's all right. We'll get there. I'm going to decide whether I'm going to. I kind of want to do the standee in wood, but then it'd be really, really heavy. So I'm like, maybe I don't want to do it in wood. It might be really heavy. But the story was pretty easy to follow. Good.
Wood is made of trees.
Would you believe that?
Cool.
I was just looking up. There's a lot of conventions on this thing.
On what thing?
Rooster Con is the first thing that popped up when I tried looking up Wicked West Con.
Yeah, it's full of cocks.
It is.
That was good.
Well, I found it on Henway. Someone
Right.
asked, "What's a Henway?"
What's a Henway?
About 5 or 6 pounds.
Yeah.
All right.
I've been trying to make a Springs comic on a Henway comic, and I just haven't been able to pull it off yet. I'll get there. Because Henway is the Henway is a classic comic strip trope. Oh, there's a lot of them now in Colorado. I actually will be selling a calendar convention stuff now. And I even after I compiled it, I missed like 2 or 3 of them. And so I was like even after I compiled it, built it, and then shipped it off to the printer to be printed, it came back and then they were like, "Oh, did you put this one on that list?" No, crap.
Nerds.
Well, I figure I can sell those for like $5 or something, and probably lots of people will buy them because it's very useful to know all the different conventions that are in here. But like some lists will have the thing that was really weird was things like, because Dustin's here, that I would see Whimsycon, but I wouldn't see Hexacon, or I'd see Hexacon, but I wouldn't see Whimsycon. And I'm like, they're both Shiny Garden. How did you get one but not the other? You know, or things like that. It was like the weirdest combinations. Like I'd get Rocky Mountain Con, but not the whatever their Christmas in July thing is. And I'm like, that's the same people. And it's actually even weirder because like that's exactly what happened. I got 2 of them on there and not, you know, it's like, it's just so weird. The lists are so bizarre. So I guess in a couple of years, I'll have it all squared away as to how many cons are out there.
Nope, those just keep adding more.
Adding more, yeah. Subtracting a couple because we've lost a couple. Like Malcon's no longer with us, obviously, and now Starfest is gone. So we'll lose a few over the years. And usually cons, like new starting cons, don't do so well. You know, right off the bat, they have to establish a little bit. So, not a given, but you know. So, luckily, I happen to be buddies with some people like Dustin, so I made sure that my list has both Whimsycon and Hexagon, and you know, and just tried to add as many of them as I could. But even then, I know I've missed a few. Yeah, right. Exactly. That's the thing that sucks. Is now our only real sci-fi conventions are Mile High Con and like the Cosine. Those are like our only sci-fi conventions, and Cosine's in Colorado Springs. And so it's like that's and the number of Comic Cons are somewhat daunting. I mean, like, even if you count things like IACon, which is sort of fringe indigenous, even that is a Comic-Con, you know. Which, by the way, everybody should go to IACon. I say that because I'm helping them, and I love IACon.
When is it?
June 9th. The weekend of June 9th.
Do I want to make that part of my birthday tide?
Maybe. And it's spelled, Aya is with the last A is uppercase, and it's iacondenver.art. Is their location.
They call it that because they're hoping to be odorless and tasteless, but we know conventions aren't. Iacane.
Oh. No.
See, with the IA, my first thought was some of the chants out of the Cthulhu mythos. Yeah, Shub-Niggurath, all that.
Yeah, apparently Aya means inclusiveness in Lakota. Or to include. So.
Remake Buck Rogers, that's funny.
Yeah, they the guys who did Star Trek Continues, Star Trek Phase 2, were going to try to do Buck Rogers. They even got Linda Gray. Is it Linda Gray? Aaron Gray and Gil Gerard back to be part of it, which was cool. And they shot like 2 episodes, it seems like, and put them out on YouTube. So it was the fan group that did Star Trek Continues. And then politics, and everything started to fall apart.
Hmm.
Not politics, but internal squabbly.
Well, there's people, there's politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It becomes like people ticks.
Project Iacon is a plan initiated by Megatron. Okay. Not a Transformers guy, so
AYA?
no, it's IA, Iacon,
Oh,
not AYA.
yeah, it should be AYA con
Yeah.
with the last A uppercase and the front first A not.
Usually that doesn't matter when you're searching on Google.
No, typically not.
In fact,
I'm just saying because it's actually got a little like accent aigu
Yeah.
on there as well.
yeah, it's the way you have to do it for clicking, but then underneath in the description they do it the way that you're saying. So
Yep.
the real thing is one of them has a space and the other one doesn't have a space. The one without a space is not the one you're talking about, obviously.
Yeah,
Yep, that's a Japanese thing.
probably. There's Ayu, which is Ayumi. Hamasaki Ayumi.
This is a cosplay ball, Iacon cosplay ball.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Too much stuff.
Yeah. We've we've needed to decide what we're doing as a team for a while as to whether we're rejoining the world or not.
Well, the problem is we had a nice position where people would come to us and ask us to come cover the conventions, which
Yeah.
made it really easy. Being the one who has to go out in the front line and go to every convention and say, hey, look at our stuff. Here's a list of things we've done. Please let us come cover your convention is tiresome. And
And nobody wants to do it.
yeah, nobody wants to.
I don't blame you. It's a volunteer position.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't mind doing it for a couple of conventions, but even the conventions that we used to cover that have changed owners, it's become tricky to re-engage with them.
Yep.
So,
Agreed.
but
Very much agree.
not that it's a bad thing. It's just, I appreciate our sponsors. I love what they do for us, and I don't know how much, I want to make sure our effort put into it has a return of viewers and such that match.
Right.
But until we get like an actual producer who comes in and does all the executive function stuff.
Yeah, because we're not good at executive function.
Your cool jazz is playing.
Shouldn't be.
Easy listening music. I can hear it. Can you hear it, Alex?
I can also hear it.
That's weird.
I'd be great at it, except that I'm really busy.
Yeah, but I mean, you're busy.
Like as a friend of mine once said, Alex, your normal is my manic. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but
Think about it. It's like, what did I do this weekend? Let me see. Work 10 hours. Went to after work team building at a bar. Went home, read the next to last chapter of the Tombs of Atawan to Nova. We're loving the books of Earthsea. She's old enough to appreciate them. Cool. Then I went out to show some friends 2 episodes of Twin Peaks season 3. Then I went dancing, and then yes, that was Thursday.
Can you still hear the music?
No, you killed it.
No.
Oh.
It was running, and then you stopped it somehow.
Okay, yeah, I have the board still has a feed from my speakers into it, and I didn't realize it was still up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that. It's not going to hurt me any.
Yeah, we can feed you our Patreon again.
Yep.
Cool.
But yeah, just scheduling stuff. That sounds expensive.
You're right. I'm like,
Cover trip to Reno, Nevada first.
Yeah.
I got family in Vegas.
And then we need to get the little sheriff's outfit so we could do Reno 911.
Right.
Am I the only person who watched that, or?
I've seen a few episodes.
Okay.
It was good.
I knew I was going to love that show. The first episode I saw, a new guy. Well, they were trying to rescue a cat off of the top of a house, and they have like this Mister Rogers neighborhood type guy doing a special on the police, and so he's standing down at the ground doing his. And they rescue cats for doing the whole Mister Rogers thing, and the cat starts scratching the cop, and he throws it, and it lands into the air conditioner unit, and it sprays blood all over the Mister Rogers guy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be watching every episode of the show now.
Nice.
So it's
You're
exactly
like, that's my kind of humor.
that's my kind of humor.
That's fair. Yeah. That makes sense.
In any case, you're coming up 2 minutes to your art show.
Yep. I was going to say, we're almost at the end of our show here.
Mm-hmm.
Anything we want to say to wrap up?
No, we could cover Passover next show since we're all going to be there.
Cover Passover. And
Yeah,
what's key about Passover?
I was going to look into how hard it is to play this one game I have. I bought mainly for the miniatures called Reichbusters, but it's where you go. It's a kind of like Zombicide. Everybody's playing cooperatively as soldiers trying to take out Nazi experiments and that of mutants and things.
Cool.
Seems appropriate for the style of what everyone's going for there.
Nice. Cool.
Can't have a Passover without shooting some Nazis, right?
Correct.
Seems like a thing. Seems remarkably appropriate. Well, then I guess we can just say until next week, we'll be moving right along then.
Yeah. Well, hey, we had 6 viewers tonight. Thanks everybody for participating.
Having fun.
Oh, we can use miniature paints and paint Easter eggs.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
we still have to do the miniature painting that we were doing for Hearing Games.
Yeah, non-Easter eggs.
It's right over there.
Yeah, mine's over there somewhere.
Right. Cool.
All right.
Well, I'm going to head on over to my show now. So
you
that's
do
all
that.
We've got for today. I've been Guy.
I've been Troy.
And I've been Alex.
And this is Geek Tank.